Hey guys, welcome back to Tracie's Place. About 3 weeks ago, we went to Las Vegas and we went to the Hash House A Go-Go. It was amazing. So I wanted to recreate one of the dishes that we had there, and it was the rosemary chicken and asparagus hash. And it had potatoes in it. It had fruit. The fruit is not pictured right here, but it will be at the end. That's chilling in the refrigerator. It had a biscuit, eggs. So these are the ingredients that you will need, plus the eggs. I don't have the eggs out. I wanted them to stay cold. But you'll need 2 eggs, or depending on how many people you're trying to feed, 2 per person. So you'll need your biscuits, and I'm just using the grands. And I'm going to add mushroom. It didn't have mushrooms. I'm adding mushrooms. So I have my chicken here, and I'm going to flavor it up with the rosemary and the onion and garlic. And I have rosemary here, the asparagus, onion, the potatoes, because it did come with potatoes. Oh my goodness. They were so good. The whole dish was just good. So let me show you my DIY take on the Hash House A Go-Go rosemary chicken and asparagus hash. Okay, so I have all of my utensils out now. The potato peeler, you can leave them on if you want. You can leave on the peels if you like them like that. Please do that, but I'm going to take most of mine off. I have my garlic press, my knives, my garlic peeler, so we are good to go. Also, go ahead and wash your asparagus off. Turn the oven on for your biscuits, whatever the directions for your biscuits are, and get skillets and oils ready for everything else. So now I have out the olive oil, some sea salt, a plate for my potatoes. These are going to be microwave potatoes. Just getting them soft. We're going to finish them in the skillet. They'll be crisp, nice, flavorful, and everything. So you want to wash off your potatoes, dry them off, and then put them on your plate. Put olive oil and a little salt on them, and they're going to go in the microwave. So I've rinsed them, dried them off, and you're going to put some olive oil on, put some salt, just gets the peel salted, and the olive oil helps so that the skins do not burst in the microwave. And just take some from the plate, slather it on there. And then you're going to pierce each potato so that the heat gets down in them real good. So I have pierced the potatoes, and now I am going to put them in the microwave for 5 minutes. So I'm trying to time this to come out the oven at the same time, or everything to get ready at the same time. So I'm not going to put the biscuits in the oven right now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put the biscuits on the sheet so that they will be ready to go in the oven. And whatever your preparation is for your biscuits, you can do that on your pan. Non-stick is different than the regular pan, so I am just going to butter the bottom of my sheet pan here and get the biscuits on, and they're just going to sit out for about 10 minutes while I finish prepping everything else. Now we're going to start on our prep for the mushrooms and the onions and chopping the garlic. So I've washed off my asparagus. First, I'm going to chop up the onion. And this is basically a half of a large onion. I've already used part of it, so I'm just gonna I'm not an expert chopper, so I'm basically just gonna chop it how I like. If you like them chopped, if you like them sliced different or whatever, you may certainly do so. But mine comes off like this. So that's the size that I like, for this dish anyway. So I'm going to use about that much of the onion, and I'm going to set this back aside for another dish. So now I'm going to chop my garlic. And basically use my garlic press because I'm not going to chop it by hand. And I had a partial one already, so I'm not going to waste, opening that one. I'm going to go ahead and use 4 cloves of garlic. I have this little easy garlic peel. I forgot where I got it off of Amazon. It actually came with the garlic press. Best to do one at a time, and you just roll it around and it gets that peel off. And it takes the peel off. Now I'm going to chop up my rosemary. Oh my goodness. As soon as you open that up, it's very fresh, very fragrant. I'm going to rinse it off and then get it chopped up. So now I'm going to just chop up my garlic. And I put a little small 5th piece in there because it was just one hanging on. So I said, let me just go ahead and crush it up too. And let me get a little ramekin for this. My potatoes are also done. So I'm going to flip them over and put them in for about 4 to 5 more minutes. So there's our fresh garlic. I'm going to flip my potatoes over in the microwave right now for about 4 to 5 minutes, like I said, and then I'll be back. So I just flipped my potatoes. You just flip them to the opposite side and put them back in the microwave for 5 more minutes, and they're going now. It's good to have a little garbage bag going for your scraps. That way the cleanup isn't so hard. Right now I am going to cut the ends off of the asparagus because the ends are always kind of tough. I'm going to cut up some mushrooms now. So the mushrooms are already sliced, but I do like to slice them even thinner, and I don't wash them off as far as soaking them in water. You just wipe your mushrooms off because putting them in too much water makes them soggy. Mushrooms are already filled with water basically. So now I'm going to get my rosemary chopped, and what you want to do is just pull them off like so, the opposite way that they're going. You want to pull them off that way from the stem. And I'm reserving 2 for the garnish and the biscuit, just like Hash House A Go-Go. So I have 3 skillets here, and a big one, medium, small one. That's going to be for the eggs, and these are going to be for the potatoes, and this is going to be for the asparagus and chicken. So my husband was making a concoction back there, so that's why that's there. But let's get started with the cooking. So the potatoes are ready and they look pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and slice them and chunk them up the way that I like. I'm going to take most of the skin off. You can do however you would like to with your potatoes, but cut them in chunks or you can cut them in wedges. Also, I have the eggs ready in the bowl to go in the pan when it's time. So it's 4 eggs, and my husband and son likes cheese in there. So I put sliced American cheese in it, just kind of tore it up, put it in there, salt, and that's pepper that you see. So there'll be butter put in also, but this is going to be done at the very end. So I'm in my countdown period now. I'm going to go ahead and put the biscuits in. And hopefully they'll hit just right coming out when everything else is ready. These should take about 22 to 24 minutes. And if you wondered why I have my biscuits all together, I like them touching because when the biscuits touch, they rise higher. When you have them separated, they get more brown on the edges and they don't rise as high. So my potatoes are ready. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle them with salt and Italian seasoning. I will put a little rosemary on the potatoes at the end. I don't want the rosemary to burn. Now this skillet is on medium heat, medium high. So this is vegetable oil. I don't like to cook with vegetable oil, but it's better to crisp up the potatoes. So you want to get that really hot before you get your potatoes in there. And that's about maybe a little less than 1/4 of a cup of oil. Just it's coating the bottom plus a little more. So getting that really hot so the potatoes can crisp up when they go in, because they're already tender. We just want to crisp them up. And I'm also going to put onion in the potatoes. So now in this skillet here, put this on medium heat. I'm going to put some olive oil in there. I got some salt in there from the potatoes, but that's okay. I'm going to put some olive oil in there. Gonna let it get a little warm, and then I'm going to put the rosemary in there plus some garlic to get the oil infused. The oil should be ready. Now we're going to go ahead and put the potatoes in. And it certainly is ready. I might make these in 2 batches because I don't want to overcrowd the skillet. So I put in some butter as well. Now I'm going to put the rosemary and the garlic in. And you know what? I did say I was going to put in a little in the potatoes. So I'm going to take a little bit out. So we're doing good. It's okay. So you want to get that all infused into the oil. Want to stir up your potatoes. Now I'm going to put this in this glass bowl. Because I don't want that to burn, but I want it to flavor the dish. Try to get as much out as we can, because those little bits will burn. So now I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil in here. And about a teaspoon of butter. 1.5 teaspoons, I'd say that was. And soon we're going to be putting, now not everybody has cast iron, but I do have 2 cast iron skillets that I'm going to serve in, but you can serve on plates. So if you do have like a medium cast iron skillets to serve on, you can put them in the oven close to the end of when the biscuits are going to be ready, because you want those to be hot so your food remains hot. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my asparagus in. I'm going to put a little bit of my onion in as well. You want that to start wilting down. I should have separated that earlier. You're going to go ahead and season. Put a little salt in. I'm going to put a little Italian seasoning in there. This is coming out real slow, so don't worry, I'm not dousing it. Also, my trusty McCormick sea salt, black pepper, and garlic blend. Well, that came out fast. But I stopped before I put too much in. Okay, I'm going to cover this up so it can begin to wilt. So if you can see this really good, the potatoes are starting to brown. Now is the point where I want to put in some onion. I'm going to put in a little onion there. Give that a stir. Want to get those really crispy, so they have to go longer. Okay. That's going really good. I'm going to put my chicken in shortly because the chicken that I have, it was the Tyson already made ready grilled chicken that came from the freezer section. So I'm about to put that in here shortly. These have crisped up really well. And the second batch will be ready to go in. The biscuits are almost ready. I'm going to put the potatoes in here. I'm going to put a little of that oil with the rosemary and garlic on the potatoes and give them a toss as well. Second batch is going in. I'm going to season these a little bit more. Now we're going to get the chicken in. So we're going to give that a stir. And we're going to put the mushrooms in. The biscuits are almost ready. The biscuits are out of the oven. I'm going to put this oil on some of the potatoes that's already ready. So you just want to put a little more seasoning on. It's getting ready very nicely. Just a little bit. Get that stirred up. These are crisping up well. I'm going to go ahead and put the onions in here. Turn the heat down on the potatoes. I'm going to put some oil. It's rosemary garlic oil. Put some over. Yum, 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 yum. Some of the rosemary goes in, and that's okay. The actual bits of rosemary and garlic, so that's fine. Put a little bit on there because I'm about to take these out of the skillet. Getting the skillet ready back here for my eggs. This is coming along nicely. I'm about to take this out of the skillet, and I'm buttering the biscuits right now. Eggs are ready to go in. All right, you guys, and look at this Hash House A Go-Go. Oh my goodness, it looks delicious. I made some strawberry glazed Hash House A Go-Go. We have like a little, I don't know what kind of sauce it is, but this is what I had, and that's what we're having with ours. I have orange juice, the eggs, biscuits, the rosemary and chicken, potatoes, and asparagus. And over here, this is mine. I don't do eggs, so this is mine. And I got my glass from Hash House A Go-Go. I brought that back from Las Vegas. Got my orange juice. Oh, and the fruit. And there we go, guys. Complete with the fruit. Hash House A Go-Go. So how does it taste?
It's good.
Put a little bit of that sauce on. Put it on here like I said. It is so good on the biscuit, y'all. So good. They have a red sauce at Hash House A Go-Go that I didn't know what it was, and I didn't have time to try to figure out what it was. But this is delicious. Delicious.